There is a climate of excellence here that is the expectation, the norm.
It is top in research. The choice was clear for me to come here to UNC.
There is the competence and the science and the integrity of nursing that is also just part of the fabric of the school.
The faculty, the professor, they are very proactive in making you success.
We're learning things that are going to help us become not only better nurses, but better people.
Can-do attitude, can do anything she wants to do in any specialty that's out there.
It's a good feeling. That's all I can say. It's a good feeling to be a Carolina nurse.
My name is Carol Fowler-Durham, and I am a Carolina nurse.
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 I'm Kristen Swanson, and I'm a Carolina nurse.
The School of Nursing at UNC Chapel Hill is consistently ranked among the top nursing schools in the country. We prepare nurses for advanced practice, whether as nurse educators, nurse scientists, RNs, or as nurse practitioners.
We have programs that go through the undergraduate, master's, PhD, and postdoctoral level. And I came to the school with a desire to bring together the academic side of nursing and the practice side of nursing in new ways.
To accomplish this, Dean Swanson formed a partnership with Mary Tonjay, the Chief Nursing Officer of UNC Hospitals.
Mary and her colleagues come over to give lectures in the School of Nursing, and there is nothing more compelling to a student learning about cardiac nursing care, for example, than to have a cardiac nurse tell a story about a patient and how they resolved a cardiac issue of care. And the students get it in a much more powerful way than they ever will by having us stand up and do a PowerPoint slide.
Yeah, exemplars help people learn, really learn.
The students also learn by doing in a process known as simulation.
Simulation is an opportunity for students to immerse themselves in a clinical environment, if you will. That they actually can react to a patient, that's a human patient simulator, that responds real time to whatever interventions they decide are necessary.
And they do this with no risk to the real patient.
It's not uncommon for students to say one of two things. One is that I learned more in this hour with simulation than I've learned in my whole curriculum. And in fact, what they have learned in their whole curriculum has poised them to be able to apply it now. And it's been an aha experience for them as they synthesize what they know. And then the other, which I think is equally as important, is for a student who says, now I know what I don't know. Because we would much rather them know that before they leave the curriculum than when they get out there. And then we can fill in those knowledge gaps before they actually get to patient care.
You need this tender? Does it hurt when I push it there?
The students also benefit from teachers who are part-time clinicians. Tom Bush is a nurse practitioner who specializes in orthopedics.
The students will spend essentially 8 hours a week throughout the semester with me.
And the doctors that we worked for or that we had the preceptorship with were right with us the whole time and continued to educate us. So we had the one-on-one with the physicians.
It's a nice fit. It's a nice balance for me, essentially 50-50 teaching and practice. Teaching informs my practice, and my practice informs my teaching, and it's an enjoyable and rich, rewarding career.
Students in the doctoral and postdoctoral programs have mentors as well as instructors.
The mentor I have now is Deborah Mayer, who is also an oncology nurse researcher, a nurse scientist, and her focus area is similar to mine, looking at cancer survivors and the issues that they may have.
And so my personal mission here is to help them be more prepared to take care of the cancer patients that they may encounter across their career.
She's very supportive, mentors and guides me in any process that I may go through. Having a mentor who really believes in you, I think it's so important. And being able to find that in a program is definitely key for you to be successful as a nurse scientist.
The professors here are dedicated not only to teaching, but to their own research and their own passion, their own practice.
We embrace evidence-based practice, which means that we are looking for research findings that would suggest to us the best way to do things.
I am a nurse researcher, which means that I'm doctorally trained. I have a PhD degree, and this training has allowed me to look at health problems from a nursing perspective. So not only do we find answers to our research questions, we then can translate those findings into better practice.
I was a critical care nurse, so in the ICU, we don't necessarily focus on death and dying. People come to the ICU to get better. But in fact, more than half of those patients die in the ICU. So my research involves testing and developing interventions to improve end-of-life and palliative care.
My particular area is breast cancer research, and specifically looking at genetic changes that could be used as markers to improve early detection and risk assessment. Nurses really can be involved in a pivotal way in research and in doing what researchers do. I mean, ultimately we chase mysteries and we make discoveries, and we do that in the service of human health, and that's something that's really gratifying.
They're leading us by example, and subsequently we are a leading force in nursing.
I'm ready for any kind of challenge. I'm ready for any kind of situation out there is waiting for me.
And to be part of an institution whose goal is to serve the people across the state and have a keen focus on helping them overcome the barriers that they may have to the care that they sometimes desperately need. That's satisfying, that's rewarding, and that's why I'm a Carolina nurse.
Once you're a Carolina nurse, you're always a Carolina nurse. It just is in your heart.
I am a Carolina nurse.
I'm a Carolina nurse.
I am a Carolina nurse.
I'm a Carolina nurse.
I am a
Carolina nurse.
Carolina nurse.
A Carolina nurse.
I am a Carolina nurse.